This is CBC Here and Now.
Tonight, the staging ground is set for the search of a man who's been missing from Mount Pearl for a week. We're live as family, friends, and volunteers look for Gerald Anthony.
Same scenario as before. The bathtub was filling up, the shower was overflowing, the toilet was overflowing.
A Rocky Harbour man woke up to soaking wet floorboards and a house full of sewer water. Again. I'll take you to the situation.
Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. I'm Mariana Kelland.
And I'm Carolyn Stokes. A search party is out tonight looking for a missing Mount Pearl man. Gerald Anthony was last seen on Monday, August 13th.
Right now, his family and volunteers are out searching for him. And Here and Now's Kate McGilfrey is there with them. Kate, what can you tell us about what's happening there tonight?
Well, just about a few minutes ago, about 30 volunteers fanned out to search here. Now, the idea is to search Mount Pearl's trail network, where Gerald Anthony would sometimes walk. I was speaking with Ken Anthony, his brother, a little bit earlier, and he was saying that the idea is to just get as many eyes as possible, both on and off the trail. The reason for that is because it wasn't uncommon for Gerald Anthony to go for a walk in the evening by himself. Now, Gerald shares a house in Mount Pearl with his sister Bonnie. He has for decades. Last Monday, she said goodnight to him. She heard him head out the door, and she said she heard him ask himself which way to go and then head off for what she thought was just a walk. This was all normal, except that Gerald never came back or got in touch. Since then, police have been asking for people to keep their eyes out for him. So a little information, Gerald Anthony, he's 60 years old. He's 5'8", 130 pounds with short hair, and he was last seen wearing jeans, brown shoes, and a black t-shirt. His siblings told me that he does not carry a cell phone or any cards on him. They also told me that they're quite concerned for his health, so he was never diagnosed with anything. But they believe he might have a medical condition. They said he'd sometimes get faint, need to be revived, have to take a rest, so they're very worried about him. The RNC is also asking for anyone with any surveillance footage from that night, so that's August 13th, a Monday evening, to send that in to him. Anyone who has footage from the area where Gerald lived, which is Smallwood Drive here in Mount Pearl. We're also going to be speaking with Ken Anthony, that's Gerald's brother, a little later, so stay with us for that. Reporting live from Mount Pearl, Kate McGilfrey for Here and Now.
Well, floodwater spewed through a Rocky Harbour man's house for the second time this year. John Grant's home filled with sewer water on Thursday, and now he has nowhere to live. Here and Now's Colleen Connors reports.
This is where the water came in.
Stinky sewer water sprays up from Grant's living room carpet. His house is waterlogged again.
I looked down the hallway and you saw water streaming down. So I went down. It's the same scenario as before. The bathtub was filling up, the shower was overflowing, the toilet was overflowing.
January's heavy rain flooded the house, and just last week on a rainy night, Rocky Harbour's system filled up and backed up, gushing water through Grant's house again. Insurance adjusters assessed the house, saying it's unfit to live, and Grant is not covered because it's a sewer backup problem.
The bulk damage that was done in January, and this just added to it. It was like icing on the cake, so to speak. It's no further damage, but again, the damage was done, and they said they'd never seen anything that bad.
The mayor says there are a dozen residents with water issues. Culverts fill up and the system can't handle rain. The town is working with the province to fix it, and Grant should install a backup flow valve.
I've been through 2 backup valves. Both got damaged. The little flap got blown out, and the last one completely. You have no idea where it went. It just went out in your system somewhere. The insurance guys said those things are useless.
For now, Grant is calling all his government officials, looking for a new place to live. While manholes continue to gurgle here in Rocky Harbour, the town says each flooding situation is dealt with on a case-by-case basis, and each house has a different situation. As for Grant, he's still trying to get a hold of government, hoping for some type of subsidized housing situation. And for tonight, well, he's sleeping in his car. Colleen Connors, CBC News, Rocky Harbour.
Just what is the definition of an inshore harvester, and who should get the right to vote if this province's Labour Board allows the powerful FFAW and the startup Fish NL to go head-to-head in a union certification vote? Well, those were the two issues raised today during a long hearing before the Labour Board in St. John's. Here Now's Terry Roberts was there today, and he joins us live with the latest. Terry?
Yes, Ariana, look, there were hours and hours of legal arguments today, all over a very complex issue that could have some pretty sweeping ramifications for the province's fishery. Now, they were all there today, representatives of the Federation of Independent Seafood Harvesters, better known as Fish NL, waging a nearly 2-year battle to become the bargaining agent for inshore harvesters. Now, looking to unseat the FFAW, long entrenched as the voice of the fishing industry, determined to keep it that way. Now, the Labour Board is trying to determine which fish harvesters should be included in the bargaining unit for the purpose of deciding whether a certification vote should be held. Now, there's no easy answer to that question, and certainly no agreement between the two sides in this dispute. Now, this story is about numbers. Fish NL needs the support of about 40% of inshore harvesters in order to trigger a vote. It signed up nearly 2,400 fishers in 2016. Now, the Labour Board has verified that roughly 9,500 individuals paid union dues to the FFAW in 2015 and again in 2016, all from their share of catches sold to processors in the province. So that puts Fish NL well below that 40% threshold at about 40%. But Fish NL is proposing a series of criteria it believes would trim thousands of names from that list. It believes the actual number of full-time, bona fide commercial fish harvesters is about 4,500.
The legislation is meant to protect fishermen who fish for a living. It's a full-time commercial enterprise. People who are fishing recreationally on commercial boats, who have a fleeting interest in the fishery financially, aren't the ones who are meant to determine the fate and the future of the true inshore fishers in the province. It's that simple.
Now, the FFAW says that's absurd. It believes that everyone who pays union dues to the union, the people who benefit from the collective bargaining, the price setting, they should get the benefit of being able to vote.
Put that number on the bargaining unit. After what? After they counted their cards and saw, boys, we only got 2,300 cards. So in order to come before the board, they had to have a number that got them above the 50%, so they came in at 52.7%. Our number was one that existed before we even knew what Fish NL were planning.
Now, both sides, their position is supported by the Collective Fishing Industry Association, the Bargaining Act, which the fishery acts under, and so this obviously won't be an easy decision for the board, and as expected, there was no decision from that 3-person panel today, and it's very clear this fight is far from over. Reporting live from the newsroom, I'm Terry Roberts for Here and Now.
It's really, really big. It's the biggest cattail marsh in eastern Newfoundland. Like, we've had snowy egrets, the great blue heron, the red-winged blackbird.
It's a hidden gem that helps prevent flooding in the east end of St. John's. Later in the show, we'll tell you about a refuge for wildlife and plants called Lundrigan's Marsh. A dead whale has washed up on the rocks near Greens Pond. Josephine Kelly-Janes took these pictures, which show the whale floating near the causeway. She says a rancid smell is coming from it and that the whale appears to be stuck on the rocks. CBC News has reached out to the Department of Fisheries and Oceans Canada, as well as Greens Pond's mayor and town clerk, but did not immediately hear back. Well, if you were hoping to volunteer with the Witless Bay Puffin Patrol this summer, you're out of luck. The culprit is the popularity of the project. According to the organizer, hundreds of people have been showing up each night to rescue the lost seabirds. Last year, only 300 people signed up over the entire season. The fear is that all the flashlights being used this year could disorient the birds who use moonlight to guide them to the ocean. Kathy Unger says her group needs to ask the public to stay away while they figure out a better way to manage all of the volunteers.
I really want people to know that we really do tremendously appreciate all the interest and the help. We hope that people respect and understand this decision.
In the meantime, Unger adds that a core group of trained people will continue to rescue the young puffins that have become disoriented and can't find their way back to the water.
Well, the merbeis are back, and this time they're after blood.
The Newfoundland and Labrador Beard and Mustache Club first channeled their inner sirens on a calendar shoot for mental health. Now the burly men are helping another charity to bring in more blood donors.
The Merbeis took over a clinic in St. John's this weekend looking for donations.
I think their capacity is like 30 odd people here, so if we can bring a few dozen people who wouldn't ordinarily come today, but I think even bigger is that if people just knowing that we're present and part of this, that they're booking their donations maybe on another day. So hopefully dozens or hundreds of people can be first-time donors.
Absolutely.
The little flick of the tail, so majestic.
Hilarious. Well, moving
Now,
on.
we're at 0, ground level, which is kind of where I like it.
Our colleague Fred Hutton from CBC Radio's St. John's Morning Show was supposed to jump from a plane today with the military. He's going to be tagging along with the Skyhawks parachute team.
But low cloud cover forced it to be canceled, and weather permitting, he'll be jumping tomorrow. While Fred was at the field today, he met a retired Seahawks parachute jumper. Here's his chat with retired Corporal Douglas Parmiter of Paradise.
Tell me about your history with the military, sir.
Well, I joined in August 17, 1950 for Korea, and at that time you had to be 19 in our regiment to leave, so they kept me on base training and then on to the paratroopers course up in Rivers, Manitoba, and after that up to Fort Churchill, and then on to Korea.
And where are you from?
Right here, St. John's. Well, originally Montreal. Yeah, born in Montreal.
But lived here.
Well, most of my life, yeah. Dad and Mum are from here.
Now, you heard the Skyhawks were going to be doing a jump today.
So then, first thing, I understand that, the ceiling is too low. Can't do it.
Now, you understand these things because you've jumped out of a plane before.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Tell me about that experience.
Well, you're anxious to see what it's all about after going through all the training, and then once you do it the first time, well, you know what it's all about. Scared? I'd say yes, many times. But then once you're out, you're all right,
Now, tell me about the regiment that you were with, or the group that you were with.
1st Battalion, Royal Canadian Regiment, that's infantry. You had the three, you see, the RCRs, the Vendus, the Quebec Vendus, Royal 22nd that was, and the Princess Pats out west, Patricia's.
Why did you come here today? I mean, obviously they've canceled it, but why did you want to be here? And you have on part of your uniform.
Well, I did this in memory of our boys, that passed on now, and I think it's tribute, because I'm in touch with a few, our Korea Vets organization or the association, our numbers are right down, so I'll be 87, so I say I'm lucky to get this far.
When was the last time you jumped out of an airplane?
For the Queen, the Queen, she wasn't Queen then, in 1952, I guess it was, yeah.
Do you ever get the urge to want to do it again, or a little bit of an itch?
Yes. I'd love to go up today, but I don't know if they'd have to push me out or.
Well, they could tandem you. You get you on. That's what they're going to do with me.
It's not the same. These guys are real, the McCoy, and a lot of training for them to do what they do. No, I admire it.
Wow. Would it be you?
Would I jump out of a plane?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd like to think that maybe I would, but.
But what he said, getting pushed out, I
Yeah.
think that's what would have to happen to get me to do it.
Can't believe Fred is going to jump out of a plane tomorrow.
Well, he's supposed to be jumping out of the plane tomorrow. We'll have
Love
to see.
to see. Tune in tomorrow to find out.
Have you heard about all the drugs going around? I have. Now, back in the day, my father and I would have handled this.
It's a St. John's film that doesn't look like the Provincial tourism ads.
Crown and Anchor shows audiences a grittier side of St. John's. Just ahead, I'll speak with one of the stars of the film. Welcome back to Here and Now. Well, there's a film heading to theaters this Friday that was shot in St. John's, but don't expect to see pine-clad hills and rolling landscapes. Crown and Anchor is dark and it's gritty.
I was coming up, I was paired up with a guy like you. Nice guy. Good guy. Everybody liked him. I cut his nose off. You know, Danny.
Crown and Anchor offers a raw side of St. John's that's not always the focus of locally produced films. St. John's native Michael Rowe took a break from filming in the U.S. to act in this production. I sat down with him ahead of the film's theater premiere.
You gotta handle this. Look, what I do is a lot different than what you and Gus did. Okay, I'm a cop. I can't do what you want me to do.
Play James Downey. He grew up in a petty crime family in St. John's, Newfoundland. Loosely based on the legend of many different famous families that, you know, we all knew growing up here. And it was always very interesting to me how that worked. Crime on an island, you're sort of stuck here. And we wanted to explore that a little bit. So James's father, Gus, is the head of this family. James has to watch his father, who's an alcoholic, drug addict, be a terrible person growing up. He suffers trauma from all the abuse he's forced to witness. He becomes a police officer just to put his own father in jail. Thinks that that's a way to break the cycle of violence and abuse. Leaves town shortly after, then his mom dies, comes back 8 years later, sees the fallout of that one decision that he made and how it sort of took the foundation out of the family in a lot of ways and left everybody in a mess, and has to deal with all of that as he comes home.
So when we look at a lot of Newfoundland productions, we see Jelly Bean Row, you know, beautiful landscapes that Newfoundland is known for. This movie, you don't really see that.
No. I guess, you know, when we started making this movie, we wanted to make the movie that we were looking for. And I didn't so much connect with, you know, the sweeping shots of Signal Hill and Cabot Tower and the fishing boats and stuff like that. I grew up in the city, downtown. All the nooks and crannies is my St. John's, and we wanted to sort of shoot like that, explore the back alleys, and those things, when you live here, you do appreciate them, but it becomes your sort of wallpaper a little bit. So we wanted to make it about the characters and about the real parts of downtown that we connected with, and we'd never really seen that in anything before. And also, some of these characters feel like they're stuck on an island. That's kind of claustrophobic. So instead of shooting it from the inside out and showing the ocean and the landscapes and the Jelly Bean Row and everything, of which there is at least a little glimpse of in there, we want to shoot from the outside in, so you get that sort of weight and that little bit of claustrophobic feeling of they're stuck here.
What are some of the other things that you've been up to?
So I've been filming another comic book-based superhero, anti-hero type thing. Okay. Not quite as dark and villainous as Deadshot on Arrow, but his name in the comic books is Colin King. Ninjak is his superhero name. He's kind of like if you mixed Bruce Lee with James Bond and then gave him sort of like a suit similar to Batman, but he's a ninja. And so he works for MI6, like British intelligence, and he does tasks for them, but he is the same type of character as Deadshot in the way he has no filter, and he sort of doesn't play nice with anybody. So he has to work with another team of heroes, and he's sort of the jerk of the bunch. So I love playing roles like that, to be honest with you, because it's very freeing, and you get to remove your filter. So it's very different than real life, where you have to sort of watch your P's and Q's, but you get to, anything's possible when you play a character like that. You get to stretch it right to the outer limits of what's acceptable. So super fun.
Back to Crown Arrow and Anchor, rather. When can people see this?
We're premiering on the 24th at Cineplex, Avalon Mall. And I will be there to do a Q&A after the film, just talk about making the film and answer any questions or curiosities people might have.
Awesome. Well, enjoy your time back home.
Thank you.
And we can't wait to see what else you're going to come up with next.
Great. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Crown and Anchor stars Matt Wells, Michael Rowe, who you just saw there, Natalie Brown, Andy Jones, and Robert Joy. And Carolina recently won the Choice Award at the Nickel Film Festival back in June.
As a community together, I think we can really make a difference on protecting it just by being aware of it.
Surrounded by industry, Lundrigan's Marsh is easy to miss.
But conservation groups say the large wetland shouldn't be ignored.
It is brought to you by Take Charge Business Efficiency Program. Over 570 businesses have saved energy and taken charge of their bottom line. Find out how you can too.
Welcome back to Here and Now. Well, Carolyn's going to talk about the weather, but first, there's a video that we have to show you.
An excellent video that was taken on a boat tour off St. Lunaire Griquet on the Northern Peninsula on Saturday. Just have a look.
Do you ever see like any jellyfish or anything in the water?
Oh my goodness, you see a lot of jellyfish around here. Sometimes in the harbors you'll get like jellyfish blooms, and the whole harbor will be filled with jellyfish.
I bet that can almost be it. Oh my God! Holy crap!
That's a family from Wisconsin that you're hearing there screaming. They're asking about jellyfish in the water, then two humpbacks decided to give them their money's worth. So I hope they're not disappointed. They didn't see any jellyfish. Much better.
Gotta love the screams. I don't know if it's like screams of delight or screams of fear. So the weather, time to look at the weather forecast. If you're in the east, it was a bit chillier today. The rest of the island saw some warmer temperatures. In the east, though, it's going to be very similar tomorrow as it was today. So we got to a high of 16 degrees in the east, but you can see in central areas, Badger got up to 26 degrees. And even in Labrador, temperatures were much warmer than they were in the east. So tonight we are looking at pretty much clear skies for the island overnight tonight, but there is this band of showers moving across Labrador that's going to be sticking around for a while, actually. So Lab West is going to be getting the bulk of those showers overnight tonight, about 5 millimeters of rain along with that, and a cool overnight low, 7 degrees there. And on the island, we're looking at clear skies and overnight lows between 11 and 13 degrees. But if you're in the Deer Lake area, it's getting down to about 5 degrees overnight, and there's a risk of frost. So if you do have any plants, you should bring them in for sure tonight. So tomorrow morning, this is what we're looking at in the metro area, 11 degrees to start your day with a mix of sun and cloud. Going to stay pretty clear throughout the day. Central, western, and the northern peninsula, lots of sunshine to enjoy tomorrow. Starting off cool, but definitely going to warm up throughout the day. And in Labrador, some more showers that will be moving through in the west. So this is how things are going to shape up. Some of those overcast, the clouds will be moving off in the morning and then clearing for the island, and that band of showers just continues throughout Labrador tomorrow. So it'll be slightly warmer in St. John's tomorrow, 18 degrees as the high versus the 16 today, but not that much warmer. For central areas, looking at some great temperatures and lots of sunshine, 24 degrees as the high for most places there, a little cooler along the coast. Corner Brook area, Humber Valley, mid-20 temperatures there as well. Up along the straits, a little bit more cloud cover, a chance of some showers in the Cartwright area, 16 degrees as the high there. And for Labrador City, looking at another 5 millimeters of rain tomorrow, but temperature's not too bad, looking at 19 degrees as the high. And as you get along the coast, some nice light winds and a mix of sun and clouds and temperatures in the mid-teens. Now we do have a bit of rain coming. I'll get into all of that a little bit later. Ariana?
Thanks, Carolyn. If you've ever been to Robin Hood Bay or to Logie Bay Road in St. John's, you've driven right past it. Lundringen's Marsh is an oasis for plants and animals in the east end of the city, and it prevents flooding. As Here and Now's Mark Quinn reports, conservation groups are hoping everyone takes an interest in protecting it.
It's a place where little things working together can make a big difference. But because there's development growing all around it, Lundringen's Marsh is easy to miss.
If you drive around the area, there's some points that you can kind of peek over the industry and look in, but it is so heavily surrounded by industry, it's hard to find a good glimpse.
Conservation groups are working hard to monitor and protect it. Northeast Avalon ACAP maintains a trail and wooden lookout just off East White Hills Road, where you can get a good look at the size of the marsh.
It's really, really big. It's the biggest cattail marsh in eastern Newfoundland. It's, I think, 55.8 acres in total.
But the group says many people don't know it exists.
The more people are aware, the more people talk about it, the less likely businesses are going to be encroaching on the marsh.
The city of St. John's purchased the area more than a decade ago. It's protected because this wetland is more than just a refuge for wildlife and plants.
They kind of act like a sponge. So when a big rainfall happens, they absorb all the water. It acts as a water catchment area and then releases it slowly back into the city rather than all at once like you would normally see. So this decreases the flood risks.
In other parts of the world, millions are being spent to create artificial marshes that do what this one already does. Conservation groups are saying, let's protect what we've already got. Mark Quinn, CBC News, St. John's.
Remember, you can watch Here and Now anytime. We're broadcasting live right now on YouTube, and you can also catch past episodes on demand. Just go to YouTube and subscribe to CBC NL. And if you've ever gone to Costco, you'll want to see this story on our website. Comedian and cartoonist Veronica Diamond has written about something Costco shoppers know all about: the 9 circles of Costco hell.
Oh my goodness, I know all about it. Whether it's doing multiple circles around the parking lot to find a spot closest to the door or getting stuck in a line for free samples, Diamond has it all covered. And check it out on our website at cbc.ca/NL.
Welcome back to Here and Now. Returning now to our top story. A search is on tonight for a Mount Pearl man who has been missing for the last week.
Gerald Anthony was last seen leaving his house on Smallwood Drive. Here and Now's Kate McGilvery is at the search tonight. So Kate, what's the latest?
Well, the search has been underway for about 45 minutes now here in the Mount Pearl Trail system. Gerald and Anthony went missing exactly 1 week ago today, and I'm actually here with his brother, Ken Anthony. Ken, can you tell me what's going on here this evening?
Well, of course, this is an area of town that we know that Gerald, you used to walk him, and like most of the times he did walk as opposed to be driving. So he generally went the area between, around the Greenwood Lounge area. I know it's not the right name, but that's what I still call it. And it's along this trail system, and we do notice the trails that he would normally walk. So what we're having a look, and we walked ourselves as a family the trail, but we also now wanted to have people come out and probably extend the search on either side of the trail. So that's what this is all about tonight, just in case that maybe, that he slipped and, he fell, or he had a little bit of a faint moment, or whatever the case may be. So, and not saying that, we're going to be inconclusive, by covering everything, but at least, it's a start to try to help eliminate some of the areas that we think that he may have went.
Absolutely. And can you tell me a little bit about what you know about last Monday? What did he do that day?
Well, it was really going to be a regular day for him. We got up and he had his breakfast, which, Bonnie says he always do. And he went up to his buddy's house where he, did some work on some vehicles and that kind of stuff. So it wasn't out of the ordinary. And after a long day's work, him and his buddy sat back and they had a couple of beer like you would at the end of the day. If you're so inclined to have a beer. Not everybody has a beer. But they had a beer and he came home. And of course, he was probably having a little bit of an off day, but we all do have an off day at times, whatever may have occurred. And, Bonnie said, Gerald, tomorrow's another day, have something to eat, go in, have a rest, not to worry about it. And he thought he was gone in the room for the night, so she went on to her room, but then shortly after, as we said before, heard him get up and, say good night to his old tomcat. And he went on the step and he said, where am I going now? But not, it's an extreme concern for Bonnie at the time. Figured he was off for a little walk maybe on the trail as we are here now. But of course, when he didn't show up, in an hour or so, and especially when he didn't show up overnight without letting her know, obviously she became very concerned and she called me the next day. And of course, here we are into night 7 and day 7. So concern is starting to escalate, to be honest.
And last question quickly, can you tell me how the public can help this search effort?
Well, the public, anything at all that the public, if they're out around and looking about and, they think that even maybe, I wonder, is that Gerald? Or even if it looks like Gerald or a similar dress, like we said, the black shirt, the jeans and that kind of stuff. And, who knows, maybe on the way out through the door, because like Bonnie didn't see him actually going out through the door, only heard him, so did he grab a jacket out of the closet, So we don't know what. The idea of this and the messaging that we're trying to get out through the media, and thanks to CBC, of course, and of course NTV and the RNC and all these people, is that we're just trying to find out if somebody's seen Gerald somewhere, and then of course the RNC, which they need to know before they can engage, like the rovers and so forth, to find a place where he was seen last, put a time frame to it, and then please God, get the people out, in addition to the volunteers, to know this business and see if we can't slowly, knock down some areas that he may be.
Okay, thank you so much, Ken. And as Ken said, RNC is looking for anyone with any information, any surveillance videotape, any clues to get in touch with them. Reporting live for Here and Now, I'm Kate McGilvery in Mount Pearl.
Syrian refugees continue to put down roots in Canada. In Halifax, that includes a new specialty grocery and butcher shop. As Elizabeth Chu reports, it's a welcome addition to the community.
These shoppers are skipping the supermarket and checking out a new specialty grocery store for their favorite foods, loading up on Middle Eastern treats that are hard to find in Halifax.
Coffee, lahma,
lamb,
tea.
Rafat Harb is the owner of Syrian Meat Shop in central Halifax. He arrived in the city 2 years ago as a Syrian refugee, and he spent his savings earned at 3 jobs to open this store, his first. He says he hasn't received any government support for his business, and he can't afford to hire staff. But he's getting a helping hand from fellow refugees like Nasser Al-Masalmeh. He was a butcher back in his homeland.
Syria butcher.
But these days, he's learning English. Al-Masalmeh is also keeping his butcher skills sharp and picking up some English at Harb's shop. It's a win-win.
He helped me a lot. Because this is his work before 30 years. And I cannot find anyone to work. This is job.
Someone also helps cook, and just like Walmart, this store has a greeter.
Canadian people coming this story, Arabic people, Chinese, Lebanese, Iraq, from anywhere.
Rafat's father, Mohammed, is happy to pitch in, helping his son and the community.
I'm happy to service the people came to Canada because we had very difficult life before came to Canada.
This meat and grocery store has only been open for 3 weeks. For owner Rafat Harb, who's only 20 years old, you might think that owning your own business is his dream. Well, think again.
And dream big,
Dream big.
not store.
But not the store. After putting his studies on hold while living in a refugee camp, Rafat Harb's big dream is to go back to school. And that this shop will turn a profit so that he'll have enough to pay for university tuition to study computer science and one day pursue his dream job. And he hopes to hire a butcher. Elizabeth Chu, CBC News, Halifax.
Well, we do have weather to get to, and earlier in the show we showed you some incredible video taken on a tour boat of two humpbacks leaping into the air.
Now we have another encounter, this time taken by a Springdale family who were fishing near Little Bay Islands.
Well, no, he's deep down in the water. Yeah. Oh.
Look at it. Shark, look at shark.
You liar. Stay back. Stay back. Stay back. Oh my God. Get down.
Now we had to edit out a couple of blinks.
Shark. Look at it. Oh my God.
But as you can see,
sit down.
That's
sit down.
A shark.
Look at it. Oh my God.
Look at it, guys.
Sit down then. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. It's my heart.
Oh, I love that. Oh my God,
Heart, yeah.
Awesome.
That sums it up.
It's a great reaction.
Oh my God.
That's pretty scary, you know, to have a shark come up to your little boat like that.
Yeah, it was big too, by the looks of it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so it's weather time, the long range. So we do have some rain in the forecast, as I mentioned earlier. And for Labrador, there's a few showers moving through this evening. Lab West getting the bulk of that, about 5 millimeters of rain overnight tonight. Tonight on the island, we're looking at some cloudy skies, but mostly clear for the west. And tomorrow we're looking at a high of 18 degrees for St. John's, a mix of sun and clouds, some nice warm temperatures for central and the west in the mid-20s. Lots lots of sunshine to enjoy and light winds as well. So it's going to be a calm, beautiful day for Central and the West. For Labrador, another 5 millimeters of rain coming for Lab City tomorrow. Temperatures around 19 degrees, 18 for Happy Valley Goose Bay with some showers there as well. So as we move into Wednesday morning, you can see that system there on the corner of the screen. That's making its way towards the province. But Wednesday itself, looking at a largely cloudy day for the island. There is a chance of showers for the east, 20 degrees, so temperatures going up a little bit, a chance of showers as well for central areas, and 24, 23, mix of sun and cloud for the west, and some heavier showers going to be moving in later in the afternoon for Lab West, and 16 as the high there, and overcast skies for the east in Labrador. So this is when the system moves through. I'll move out of the way here. You can see some pretty heavy rain it looks like we're going to get for Lab West, and as well along the south coast and the northern peninsula, and pretty much the entire island is going to get a taste of this at some point Wednesday night into Thursday. So we're looking at a mainly cloudy day for the east, 25 degrees, so we're getting back into the mid-20s there, but we should be start to see some of those showers as well. Chance of showers for central and for the west, and periods of rain for the east, looking like it could be a fair amount, maybe not warning level amounts, but it looks like pretty heavy rain, and periods of rain as well for western Labrador. So this is your 5-day forecast. You can see we're getting a bit higher up in the temperatures into Friday, 24 degrees. With some more rain so far. Saturday is looking like a pretty nice day, 22 degrees with a mix of sun and clouds. Similar story for central areas, 25. It's a real like mid-20s trend for central areas this week, and also some showers there on Friday. Clearing on Saturday, a mainly cloudy day for western Newfoundland on Friday, and then a mix of sun and clouds. So looking like a decent weekend for the island so far. And for eastern Labrador, a chance of some showers on Friday and some nice warm temperatures for Saturday, a mix of sun and cloud and 25 degrees there. And for western Labrador, looking at some showers on Saturday. So that's your forecast. Ariana, back to you.
Thanks, Carolyn. Well, 16 daring souls jumped into the water off the coast of Portugal Cove, St. Philip's on Saturday in aid of mental health. The Tickle Swim raises money for the Canadian Mental Health Association in the province. Swimmers leave from Portugal Cove, St. Philip's and cross the open ocean to Bell Island, about 5 kilometers away.
We know that mental health is an issue that everybody gets touched by in one shape or another. Mental illness and addictions are a rising issue in our society right now. And this is one event where people can tackle a personal challenge of swimming the 5.1 kilometer Bell Island Tickle from Portugal Cove, St. Philip's to Bell Island to raise money and awareness for mental health.
We usually have one paddler with one swimmer acting as kind of like a guide to kind of get us across. With water conditions, as you can see, like today, it's fairly calm. There's not a lot of wind. The current is quite low. It should be a pretty straightforward paddle across, but that doesn't diminish the importance of that connection between that paddler and that swimmer. Because when you're in the middle of the Tickle, I've swam it, I've paddled it, sometimes you really can't see where you're going, and that can be make you feel very vulnerable and very lost, and it can be very overwhelming at times. So therefore, having that one-to-one connection with somebody who's there to support you is paramount, and I can't underscore the importance of that enough.
I think that's a huge part with mental health, is having people, either family members, friends, groups like the CMHA to support you is certainly a big part of it, and having somebody out there with you certainly makes it easier than if you're just doing it by yourself.
Well, turning now to international news, Pope Francis has written a letter to all Roman Catholics condemning child abuse in the church. Francis calls the abuse and the cover-ups a crime, and he's vowing to prevent it from happening in the future. The CBC's Dominic Velitis has the details from London.
Well, this is the first time a pope has written to Catholics about sexual abuse, and it is surprisingly blunt. In the letter, which is several pages long, Pope Francis condemns not only the sexual abuse that has been taking place within the church, but crucially, the cover-ups that have been happening as well. We can show you part of the letter now. It reads, it is essential that we, as a church, be able to acknowledge and condemn with sorrow and shame the atrocities perpetrated by consecrated persons, clerics, and all those entrusted with the mission of watching over and caring for those most vulnerable. And Pope Francis goes on to beg forgiveness for the pain suffered by victims and said Catholics must now be involved in any effort to root out abuse and cover up. It is a strongly worded letter. Its release comes ahead of Pope Francis's trip to Ireland this weekend, a fiercely Catholic country where the Church's credibility has been quite badly damaged following years of revelations of sexual abuse there. But it also comes in the wake of a grand jury report in Pennsylvania last week, which reported that at least 1,000 children were victims of some 300 priests over the past 70 years, and that generations of bishops had failed to take action against the perpetrators or indeed to even protect the victims. Crucially, Pope Francis uses this letter to call for a new culture to be created within the Church, one that would prevent such situations from happening and ensure they are not covered up. Dominic Velitis, CBC News, London.
Toronto City Council is deciding how to respond to a provincial law that cuts its size almost in half. The city's legal team has weighed in, saying there is no obvious path to challenge the controversial legislation.
Process by which this monumental change was made was wrong and is unacceptable.
Hundreds of people turned out for today's special council meeting. Many councillors tabled petitions opposing the change. Ontario Premier Doug Ford caught the city by surprise when he announced it last month. The new law passed last week, partway through the current municipal election campaign. It slashes the number of wards from 47 to 25. That's forced many candidates to refile their registration papers and overhaul their campaigns. Toronto goes to the polls for its municipal elections on October 22nd.
Well, BC Premier John Horgan and Federal Defence Minister Harjit Sajjan will be in Prince George tomorrow to visit the wildfire zone. The spreading wildfire threat has forced even more people to leave their homes today. A small community in southwest Caribou has been ordered to evacuate. More than 6,000 people across the province are out of their homes now. About 550 fires are still burning, leaving about 600,000 hectares of land scorched. Thick smoke from the flames also continues to pose a threat. Air quality advisories are in place for most of BC, and the health risk is especially high from Vancouver Island to the West Kootenays.
Severe flooding in southern India continues to cause massive damage and the displacement of tens of thousands of people. It's the worst flooding in the region of Kerala in a century. Monsoon rains are overwhelming dams and triggering landslides. More than 350 people have died and 800,000 others have been displaced.
After decades of waiting and wondering, tearful reunions were held today in North Korea. 89 South Koreans made the brief trip north. Many hadn't seen their relatives since the war broke out in 1950. And many more on both sides of the border are still waiting for that chance. Tens of thousands of South Koreans are registered in a government lottery to be reunited with family in the north. But after 70 years, time may catch up with many of them before they ever get the chance.
For the first time in 8 years, Greece is back in charge of its own finances.
When I say it's the end of a crisis, it's the end of a cycle for Greece, but it's also the end of a crisis for the Eurozone.
Since 2010, Greece has been the recipient of the biggest economic bailout in history, $330 billion. But the financial scars remain. The crisis shrank the Greek economy by a quarter, sent unemployment soaring, and forced the implementation of painful austerity measures. And Greek banks are saddled with huge bank loan portfolios. The public debt load is still the highest in the European Economic Zone.
Here's today's beautiful viewer photo of the day.
That is gorgeous.
Isn't it beautiful? Any ideas?
Oh, no, hard to guess.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I'll have the answer, let you know where this shot was taken after the break. Welcome back to Here and Now. Well, for a decade, Camp Eclipse has been offering young members of the LGBTQ community a safe space for self-discovery and open discussion.
The leadership program takes place off Salmon Line and runs for 4 days. Our cameras swung by this weekend and spoke to some campers.
My first experience at camp was life-saving, and coming back just feeds my soul and my mental health in such an important way. So coming back is like taking a big breath of fresh air for the rest of the year.
It lets me express myself completely, and it lets me say how I feel without fear of being judged for who I am, and it just lets me be really free in a way I can't be in other places.
Sounds like a really positive experience for them. Okay, so let's have a look at our viewer photo of the day. Lovely scene.
Drum roll.
That was taken in Hickman's Harbor.
Oh, nice. Beautiful, beautiful. That is a great shot.
Yeah. Serene scene in Hickman's Harbor. Thank you, Scott Udall. He's home on vacation from Ottawa and sent this photo into our email address, nlphotos@cbc.ca. All right, so that's it for us. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
We'll see you tomorrow.